teacups. So we're going to talk about the Mama June situation. I've been relaxing some. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Mama June situation. So she's getting dragged on TikTok because of the last episode. She's being accused of stealing Alana's money out of her Coogan account, which is false. In a sense, you cannot touch a Coogan account of your child. If you've ever done a TV show, if you've ever done acting, if you've ever, participated, producing with underage, kids, anybody under the age of 18, a Coogan account is an account where the money goes into the account of the child, and you cannot touch that money until they are of age, right? So what happened is June was advised by a non-financial advisor, other moms in the industry or whatever, that there was a certain percentage that you can put into your child's Coogan account, and it is legal. That does not mean that you have to put 100% in the Coogan account. Now, June put 20% of certain monies into the Coogan account for Alana, aka Honey Boo Boo. Y'all remember Honey Boo Boo, right? Mama June is her mom, and she has, other kids, other daughters, and, hence all of the television shows. It all started with Honey Boo Boo. If you remember her, she was a pageant queen, and, she was just so cute. She was the cutest little thing, and people dragged Alana, even when she was a baby, and dragged Mama June because they didn't like the way she was being raised. They didn't like her, demeanor, her tone or whatever. They kept watching the show, okay? The show is on, is it WeTV or TLC? I think it's WeTV, but you can get it now on Philo, all BLK. It's all over the place. I have a Fire Stick, so I watch it like a day late or whatever. But when some of these television stations, the channels, the networks, they don't pay you as much as, NBC would, or ABC, or, any of the, bigger networks, right? So you're thinking that these people are getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Really, they're not. So it would have been smart for Mama June to put 80%, anywhere from 50 to 80% in the Coogan account from whatever she was doing, whether it was from the show, whether it was from Dancing with the Stars, whether it was from, what was she in, singing, The Masked Singer, any of the shows. It would have been smart for her future to put 50 to 80% in, and then keep some of the money for upkeep. Because there are a lot of things that the show is not going to pay for, but there are a lot of things the show does pay for, like dental work. Everybody in the comments is like, oh, well, she's had her teeth done 3. It doesn't matter how many times anybody on the show has had their teeth done. That's upkeep. The show takes care of that. The show takes care of your hair. But when you sit down in the chair and you have to do your stuff in front of the camera, the show is taking that. When you go into the confessional booth and you sit down and you have to do all of this, talking about the show or about a scene that just happened, the show takes care of the makeup, the hair. Yes, they're going to do your teeth. Yes, you're going to get, certain things done. There are certain things on the show that are going to be taken care of. And I know this because I've been on a reality show many years ago, and I didn't have to come out of pocket for anything. My wardrobe was taken care of, my hair, my makeup. I didn't come out of pocket for a dime. And that was, an Alabama-based show. Here you're talking about, a show that everybody has access to. So of course their stuff is going to be taken care of. But the money that you get being paid to be on that reality show is quite different from the money that you would get if it was a scripted show. If that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mama June from Not to Hot and, The Crisis and all that, it's not scripted. This is reality. Reality TV stars don't get paid as much as actors because they're not acting. they may be asked to redo something. Like on our reality show, they would say, we'll do this again and put some more emotion into it, make it look like, you're upset or this, that, and the third, because drama sells, because, fights sell and all that kind of stuff. And you're watching this stuff way late. So your comments, what you're commenting and you're dragging these people are way late. Alana has been in college for almost a year, and you guys are so late. But I understand, you want to have, something to talk about. You want to drag this woman. You want to tell Alana to sue. Technically, Alana cannot sue June and win because legally she did what she was supposed to have done. Morally is, I think, where people are upset at, because everybody's like, if it was my child, if it was my kid, because June will get a check. But then if you keep, I would say at least 20% of the child's money and put 80% in the Coogan account, in my mind, it would be enough depending on regular bills. That 20% or whatever she kept of Alana's money from the Coogan account could have been Alana's allowance. I agree with that. It could have been used as sort of like child support. Alana says, well, I didn't need anything. Of course you do. You need clothes, you need food, you need shelter, you need utilities, you need, all of these things. I don't know, and you don't know Mama June's and her household's financial situation. But I can guarantee you that as a reality star, just because she's famous does not mean she's paid as much as other people. And we've heard people talk about this in the media for years. They do not make that much. If you look at the Real Housewives, these people don't. This is a franchise that they don't care, because these people are already rich when they hit the Real Housewives. So you can't even use that as a reference. Somebody used that as a reference. That's not even in the same league, okay? Honey Boo Boo and Mama June and Sugar Bear from back in the day, they were not rich, okay? So this right here is something that, came into their laps. They were offered an opportunity, and yes. And so Alana has been in the public's eye for years. And I feel like that she was old enough to say, yes, I want to do this. And so that's fine, it's quite different from now I'm a YouTuber. And so on YouTube, you don't hear a lot of parents saying to their children, do you want to be in front of the camera? They just kind of have to do it or whatever. And so there are rules and regulations that are set in place for that. Things for family vloggers now are quite different from back in the day. And they're going to change and be even more tighter because of the Ruby Frank situation. Every time something happens, whether it's in commentary, we have the Tasha K, situation. And now we have the Ruby Frank situation, and we have a lot of things going on. They have the same thing happening in reality TV. We've seen a lot of people, go to jail and lose, get kicked off of shows and, all of this stuff. Mama June's daughter passes away while they're, in the midst of all of this filming and stuff like that due to cancer. And I feel like people forgot about that. People are not, people aren't thinking about that. In this moment, she's still in a grieving process. The entire family is still in a grieving, process. Now, for me, I watch all of them on TikTok. Dodo, Mama June, Alana, Pumpkin. I'm friends with Mama June. I'm friends with Dodo on TikTok. So we communicate. Lovely people. They don't talk every day. They've already said they don't talk every day. Somebody made mention of, oh, well, Dodo, talks about, Mama June or whatever on her channel. I have been in Dodo's live streams. I've never heard her say one thing bad about Mama June. She does not talk about Mama June in a bad way. She may talk about, how they grew up, and have a funny story. The other day, she was wishing June well, and she was talking about Alana. Last night, Dodo and Alana had a TikTok battle. It was, fun. It was funny. there was a little, feedback or whatever, but I think it was, I don't know, the microphones or whatever. Maybe Alana wasn't using headphones because we got the same feedback when she did the battle with Pumpkin. But what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing is more of the audience, more of the chat, more people in the comments are doing the dragging, of people, but the actual family members are not dragging each other. For real, for real. And that's just what we see on a daily basis. Now, for me, when I was working on Duo Do Over, one of the television shows, it was reality. It was based on a salon because I have a history in cosmetology. That was my profession. That's what I first went to school in. And it was, amazing. But it was also stressful. It was stressful. We saw a lot of things happen during the time period, the season that it was on. Um, that you probably wouldn't see behind the scenes, uh, such as June made mention today. We didn't have a financial advisor. Depending on how much money you make, you may be contacted by someone who wants to help you financially. You have to be aware of that, and you have to be very careful. Financial advisors are out to make money as well. June said that she did not have access to a financial advisor. She was advised by other parents that were there and they were kind of giving her advice. But as far as, a financial planner or an advisor, somebody that she could talk to that was trained, in this profession, no, she didn't have that. When you're thrusted into this lifestyle, it's a little bit different. And your first run out of the starting gate probably um, is not going to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? You learn as you go. So now the family seems to be on the men. You have to remember that what we're seeing on TV was filmed months ago. So I'm hoping that the people in the comments don't um, cause any more friction within the family, because what you want to see is families get together. You want to see them mend fences. You want to see them move on with their lives. You want to see them grow together instead of apart. It makes for good TV, but in reality, it's not good. It's not good for anybody. And Pumpkin has the smallest children in the family, and you definitely want those small children to grow up in love, and you want them to have grandma there and the daughters. I know it's hard if you've never had somebody who was addicted to alcohol or drugs or anything like that. Then you're probably like, you know she should have done this and she should have done that. But if you don't have any experience in dealing with somebody who's addicted to something, don't even speak on it, because at the end of the day, you're talking to somebody who is not, they're not 100% there. Um, Even if they seem sober for that day, even if they haven't drank or done drugs or whatever for that particular day, it's still in their system. And mentally, they're not 100%. So it's not like me talking to you and you're sober and you've never done drugs before or whatever, and I can tell you that, this stuff is bad or that stuff is bad. You shouldn't be doing this. You should be taking care of your responsibilities. And they could be saying, I know this. But in reality, they have a demon on their back. They have something that they have to deal with that at the time physically is more important. Mentally, you might know all of these things even in a drug induced state, but physically, if your physical is stronger than your mental and stronger than your spiritual, you are going to continue to do drug abuse of whatever drug is your choice until you decide that it's time to quit. And so, unfortunately, when we hear June say, of course, I was still, on drugs and, I was with, that other guy and all of this kind of stuff, that was a dark time in her life. She lost the house, a lot of money was, used up. You know, they ended up having to go to court and do all of this stuff, and it was a really bad time. But now that she's not in that state and she has a different relationship, she has, you know, someone who supports her in her life. Don't be in the comments talking about, you know, she should be sued and she should go to jail and she should get a divorce and all that kind of stuff. Because regardless of what happened in the past, and it is in the past because this stuff has already happened, it already happened. We're seeing the show currently of things that happened in their real life, you know, months ago, almost a year ago, because Alana's been in college for almost a year, right? And so if they are mending fences and everything is better, that is way better and way healthier than trying to, you know, drudge up all this stuff and say what should happen, or if it was me, blah, 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 because at the end of the day, it's not you and it's not me, it's them. And instead of wishing these people harm, I feel like you should be wishing these people well, because at the end of the day, it's better for a family to be together than it is being apart. So let's wish them well. Let's keep them in our prayers. Let's hope that, you know, Mama June never relapses again, that her marriage does stay together, and that the kids are happier, and, you know, they're mending fences, and June is not just somebody who gave birth to them, but, you know, she becomes a mother and a grandmother in their eyes and in their hearts, because that's healthier. That's what you really want. So that's my take on it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.